Welcome to another episode of Driving Thoughts. My name is Stephen Adams. I am co-owner of Moxie Hair Salon and Shared Space in Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, and I thought today, since I get this question a lot, to talk a little bit about being a salon owner. That's going to be the question of the day, is like, how do you balance it all? So let me just give you a little history, a little insight about me. I am a salon owner. I own and co-own 3 salons. Out of that salon, we also run an advanced academy. We have an advanced training program. 2 of the salons that I own are independent contracting salons called Moxie Shared Space. And one of the salons that I own is called Moxie Hair Salon. It has about 35 employees. It is all commission. And as part of a salon owner, one of my philosophies in owning a salon is to create an environment where I can give as much to my employees to make them as happy as possible, and still, make sure that the salon runs profitably. We give as high a commission rate as possible. We do not take chemical costs out. And we also offer health insurance, dental insurance, IRA program, health savings account, paid vacation, and sick time. We also give what we call flex hours. And we also really make sure that we give our employees what they deserve. It's pretty simple. And I figure if you can have a happy employee, you're going to have a happy business, which means you will do well. And it's not easy. It's a very, very challenging job. Owning a salon is possibly one of the toughest businesses, I think, out there. Now, any business owner will probably tell you the same thing. But so the question, that kind of gives you an idea of where I'm coming from, what we have, what we offer. I truly, truly believe that it's important as a business owner to be connected with the people that work for you. That's rule number 1. And I think you got to have that connection. And that means a personal connection. Especially in the hair world, our whole business is built around relationships. And we want to make sure that we are building those relationships so that we keep people engaged. So, as we kind of talk about business, there's a couple of things that I really look at with owning a business, running a business, managing a business. Balance. It's really, 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 really important to be able to create personal balance. Now, that's different for everybody. My balance is going to be totally different than my business partners, which is going to be totally different than the people that work for me. That's going to be totally different from another salon owner. So everybody has their own form of balance. And it's important to know what that balance is and to have it. When you're feeling out of balance, you have to stop and take care of yourself. Because if you are feeling as a disgruntled business owner, that really means your balance is off, and you should really reevaluate what you're doing and why you're doing it. So when I started my business, I wanted to build it on a few core values. And this was the first part of becoming a business owner. I wanted to think about, okay, what is really important to me? What is my point of difference in opening a salon? Because there's a gazillion salons, there's a gazillion hairdressers, everybody's good. So how do I make a point of difference, and what is that point of difference? Well, that was probably the hardest part of opening a salon. And so I needed to create my point of difference. My point of difference was going to be education, family, teamwork, and I wanted to create a really safe environment for people where they could grow, but at the same time be really challenged to become the best, because I wanted to surround myself with the best people. To do that really kind of was challenging. It's mostly, and it took a lot of hard work and perseverance. I had to really push myself to create what I now have. And we've been in business 19 years, which is a long time for a salon. 19 years. It's crazy to think about it. Because when I opened it, I was just an egotistical little snot-nosed kid who didn't have any clue what he was doing, and slowly found my path, and slowly, through lots of mentorship and lots of heartache and pain, figured out where to go. So the question is how do you balance all of this? How do you have 3 salons, still have time to travel for different manufacturers? So I do a lot of education. I was just in Des Moines, Iowa, doing a Happy Monday class with Nick Rojo. And how do I have time to do that and at the same time manage the business, run the business? So let me just give you a little rundown on how I do it, because I think it's important. First of all, it starts with our core values, and going back to team and building the team. Little history on our salons is we have no salon managers. Nobody has that title of salon manager. We learned through years and years that salon managers, giving that title to somebody changes their outlook. So what we've decided to do, and what we've slowly done, is we have dispersed responsibilities. And I think that's one of the key things. When I say we, I always say we as a team, we as a management team or a core group. So, and we as Moxie. So here's how it works. We're going to start with the employee-based salon. The employee-based salon, we have right now 6 people in training, so 6 rising stars. We have 3 masters, and then everyone else is executive level, art director level, and artistic level stylist. Some of the people have been with us 14 years, some of them have been with us 6 months. Now, our stylists, we really work with each level. Each level has their own jobs and duties, and that's part of the structure. Is in their job descriptions they have different duties. The artistic leaders, their job duty is to make sure that the beverage station is clean and taken care of. The masters, their job is to take care of the break room and the laundry area and make sure everything is caught up. The rising stars are to make sure that the salon floor is clean, the back wash house is continuously filled and stocked. Every single person has their little responsibility, and it's based on level of growth. So the more you grow, the less responsibilities you have. The younger of a stylist you are, the more responsibilities you're going to have. And so it kind of gives incentive, but at the same time it kind of builds discipline. And I think you have to kind of look at it that way, and it works as a team. And that's part of the structure. So everybody helps. Everybody has a part, everybody has to play a part, everybody has responsibilities. And I think that's the the foundation. Now, our shift managers, our shift leaders, our front desk, our shift, those people that are working the desk, their responsibility is the desk. Their responsibility for that. We do call our front desk people shift managers because how many times do a client call or wants to talk to a manager? I want to be able to empower the front desk people to create whatever kind of management decision that they need. I want them to be able to say, okay, here's what we can do for you. What is your, what are your needs? How can we assist you? And here's what I can do for you. Right away, it kind of like eliminates the whole, oh, let me find the manager. Oh, let me do this. No, it's like I have the responsibility to make that decision. And we try to empower every single one of our employees to be able to make whatever decision they need to based on whatever situation arises. Because I think it's really important to empower people to feel as if they have that kind of control and that they can make that decision. They don't have to live in fear. They can make the decision. Here's the thing, I would rather them make a decision, and if I don't agree with the decision, at least they made one, and I can just be like, hey, you know what? I really appreciate that you made that decision. And next time, let's look at it this way. Why don't we try this? And make it into a coaching experience versus them not making a decision and stalemating it and nothing happening. So I really want to be able to empower everybody to make some kind of decision. And I think that's a big part of our management style, if you wish to call it management style, but like running a business. What happens with that is that eases a lot of pressure off of myself, John, my business owner, or my business partner, because we have other jobs. We all have different jobs. So going back to this, each of the stylists, each level has a job. The shift managers at the front desk, they have a job. John has a job. His job is to keep track of all the books, the numbers. He's the one who follows up with all of the, if you wish, I hate the word HR, but human resources. So he deals with health insurance and all the dental insurance and all the insurances and payroll, and he does all of the number stuff on a day-to-day basis to keep track of everything. What's nice about it is we know exactly where our company is pretty much every day, like to a penny, and he does a brilliant job at it. He really keeps track of all this information and makes sure that everything is good. He also talks to the vendors. He makes sure that anything with billing and all that stuff is done. The other thing that his job is he does help with schedules, keeps track of all the schedules, and then he kind of just monitors where everybody's at. So if someone's constantly coming in late, keeps track of it. Now, he keeps track of it. We've gone through a few different things where we talk to people all the time, but that just makes people angry. So what we've decided is what we do is we call our STAR system. The STAR system is how we reward people, but we also give them priority booking. It also determines if you get a day off. If you're requesting a day off first, people who have higher STAR status are going to get more days off. And what STAR means is really simple. STAR means, first thing we're going to look at is what is your service dollars per guest. Are you reaching your service dollars per guest? Are you producing money? Second thing is we're going to look at what your take home is. Take home is your retail. What's your retail dollars per guest? Then we look at the A, which is attitude and behavior. This is where, are you coming in on time? Are you a team player? Are you helping? Are you going above and beyond? Those that go above and beyond, they get gold stars. And so when we get stars, that's great, because then all of a sudden you push in your limit on your vacation time or your flex hours, and you want to be like, but you need to take a day off, or you like to. We may flex it a little bit and give you more time because you're a great employee. But if you're not hitting all your stars, them, you might not. So attitude really takes part of it. And then the R really is about retention and rebooking. Are you retaining and rebooking clients? And we really look at all of those numbers. Now, those numbers are the same numbers that we actually utilize for increasing prices, for basically everything. They're what we call our vital signs. So we look at our vital signs plus our attitude and behaviors, and those are what gives us the star employee and the star. And that determines like how people are booked. You know, if you're a higher star employee and you're reaching your service, your take home, you're reaching your retention, rebooking, and you got a great attitude, you're going to get new clients faster than someone who doesn't and isn't hitting those things. And I think it's really important to understand that. So it's like self-motivating, and everything is geared towards self-motivation. So John kind of keeps track of all of that stuff, keeps an eye on it, and then he tries to help coach other people and just kind of spot coach. Just like, hey, what are your numbers, where you're at, what can I do to help? Really, that's his form of job. So some people may say he's the manager, but really he's the co-owner who actually cares about his business and is really involved in the business. Now, I also am involved with that to some degree, but not as much as he is. I kind of like oversee it. I kind of like look at it. I kind of talk to everybody and coach them on a day-to-day basis. My job is a little bit different. My job, because I'm the face of the company and also in doing a lot of the education, my job is to like work on the technical side of it. And I also still work behind the chair 5 days a week. So I'm taking clients and I'm coaching. So what happens is when we get a new person, then I bring them in and I do a technical interview and I decide I want to hire them. I bring them in and they become my assistant. And they work with me exclusively for anywhere from a month to 2 months, depending on how I feel they're progressing. And we work on downtime, we work on their sectioning, blow drying, we work on hair cutting, we work on color, we work on the science behind hair color, we work on American waving, we work on smoothing. We kind of try to cover a little bit of everything, and they are learning how to become a stylist, but at the same time what they're really learning is how to work as a team, and at the same time practice their skill. And we do this before we do anything. We want to make sure that they have a solid foundation in the hair. It also is a great way for us, I hate to use the word weed out, but it's a way for us to weed out people that don't have the confidence or aren't ready or aren't always a great fit, because I don't really want to weed people out. I want people to work, and I'm hoping that through the interview process they all are going to work out. But what happens is, I mean, it's a challenging, interviewing is a hard thing, and it's like you can't always see what someone's behavior actually is or how they're going to feel about something until they're actually in it. So we really want to be able to work with them. I coach them, I train them, I get them set up in the foundation of our systems, of our whole operations. After they work with me, then they go and actually work with our lead shift manager, Betsy, and Betsy actually then coaches them on how to work the front desk. And they learn that for a good couple of weeks and they become master at how to greet customers, how to give tours, how to take money, how to book appointments, how to like deal with customer service side. And I think this is a really important part of creating a team, is to have every single person on your team understand how the front desk works, and not only understand it but actually work it. Because what happens is we want to make sure that everybody can just fill in at any point in case, let's say, Sally is working behind the desk and gets sick and has to run home. Anybody can jump in and help. And I think it's really important. Anybody from myself, because there's times I'll be answering the phones, for. I'll be taking money. Sometimes John will do it. Sometimes, a lead stylist that's not busy will do it, or maybe it'll be like a rising star who's just beginning, who doesn't have much on her books. They'll fill it in. And we really want to be able to make sure that everybody has that opportunity to know how to do whatever it takes in every part of the salon. So we really work with the rising stars on not only their technical skills, but also the business side of it, and also the customer service side of the desk. So my job is working with that, and then I also work with our educators that educate our team and all the rising stars. We have right now five educators, and then those 5 educators kind of rotate their schedule, and they all come in on a Sunday, and they observe and work with people as they're working with their models, and they help them and coach them on where to improve and how to grow and what they're doing really good at. And then they also observe them on Sundays when they take clients. So all of our rising stars, always after about 6 weeks or so, they start taking clients on Sundays. We want them to be practicing with people right away. So even though they're assisting, even though they're still helping everybody else out, even though they're training, we still have them take clients, but it's under a guide of having a lead educator right there, helping them out, coaching them, and basically the lead educator becomes their assistant and is helping them and guiding them, helping them close sales and helping them do shampoos and helping them if they need help with body position or angles or how to approach something. They're there to guide and coach them, and I think that's a really important way for them to learn. And I kind of oversee some of that, work on the schedules and what videos they're supposed to watch. So each week our training program consists of, they have a video. They watch that video for a week or more, and then they have to bring a model in to do that work. That's it. It's really that simple. Every week they're assigned something. Now, everyone always asks, this is always a great thing, every new hire always asks the same question: how long is your training program? Well, the training program is indefinite, meaning there is no timeline. It all depends on each individual, how long are they actually going to work on themselves, and how long are they going to grow, and how much time they need. So everyone is required to go through we have a total of 26 haircuts and 26 colors that we want. So if you add that all up, it comes to 52. So it's completely, if you're perfect at it, you do a really amazing job, you can go through everything in 1 year. But that's only part of the process. The other part of the process is for us to hit our vital signs. While you're in a training program, which is called Rising Stars, you are also really focused on hitting all your vital signs. We're looking at your service dollars per guest, we're looking at your retail per guest, we're looking at your rebooking rate. Those are the key 3 things that we're looking at, and we're trying to coach you to grow, because we won't move people from Rising Star to the next level until they're hitting those numbers, because I want to make sure that they're selling $7, at least $7.50 per guest with retail. I want to make sure that they're hitting all of their numbers that they need to hit to move to the next level. Now, this is always they're well, but I went through all of the classes and all the cutting classes. Great, that's awesome. You can totally go through all of those. But if you really, truly want to grow, you want to hit all of your numbers so that you can move up. And you should just continue going through the cycle and doing all of the classes over and over and over. It doesn't hurt you to take the class, let's do the same haircut twice. It doesn't hurt to do it 3 times. It's up to you. If you really don't want to be in that, you really need to focus on how you're going to grow as a stylist. It's not about getting out of the training program, it's about becoming a stylist. And to become a stylist, you have to hit X amount in service dollars, X amount in retail, and X amount in rebooking. Because that's how you're going to grow as a stylist. I want to set you up for success, not for failure. Because if you're not hitting all those things, it's going to become downhill really fast. And if I put you on the floor full time, that's not good. So we really focus on that. And all the stylists, all the educators really coach on those same things. And it's really important for us to be able to do that. So that's my job. That's how I keep the balance. The balance is I kind of keep an eye on it. But to keep balance in the salon, what I've learned over the years is to delegate responsibility to everybody. You know, it's like our shift leaders, you know, Betsy, who works the front desk, she takes care of all the ordering for 2 of the locations. She takes care of all the inventory. It really only takes her about 5 hours to do paperwork of what we need, how much color do we need, how much inventory are we going through on the shelves, what do we need to like focus on. And every so often we look and evaluate what we're selling, what we're not selling, and then how to like change those so that we're like focused on the right things and that we have the right amount of inventory. And that's really like her job, and she does that. She comes in the morning early, does that before she works behind the desk. So it's like really, it's all about working as a team. Each person has a different responsibility. Marina, who works for us, we call her the safety and sanitation lady, and what her job is just to make sure that the whole salon is up to speed on all of the laws and rules in the state of Minnesota, making sure that everyone's stations are clean. So if she's seeing things that are not getting clean, things aren't getting done right, then it's her responsibility to like make sure the rest of the team is all engaged and gets all on board, and she's there to like get them all excited about working. Because what I discovered is people learn better and they take I hate to say criticism, but they take guidance better from their peers than they do from me or John. Because that if it's us, we're just mean people. We're just excuse my word, but we're the assholes who are putting it out there because we're the salon owners and we're just like, we're tough. But if it comes from their peers, there's a much better response and people actually like will jump in and do it. And like our safety and sanitation, we have that same person for about a year to 2 years, and then we assign it to someone else because it needs to be something that rotates. So again, it just has to be like a rotation. It has to be something that someone doesn't get stuck in. And I think it's really important to be able to like work as a team that way. And team delegation create balance. If you are trying to control everything, if I was trying to control everything and do everything myself, and I was always looking, I would get so pessimistic and I would be so upset because I would be walking in and only looking for things that are wrong versus looking for what is positive. And I think as a salon owner, as a coach, it is really important for me, and it's also important for everybody on the team to find the positive first and then the redirection after. But we want to be able to like really focus on growing people and really push them to become better in a positive, caring, loving way. So hopefully this helps answer everybody on how we do a little bit of our management structure for the employee-based salon. And that's the hardest one, because the independent contracting one is so much simpler because everybody is independent, which means they come in when they come in, they leave when they leave. In one of our locations, we do hire front desk staff. Sometimes our rising stars, if they're not busy, will go over and help. And the front desk staff is like helps with laundry and just kind of helps with keeping up inventory, works with Betsy on that, and just kind of like keeps track of what they need and any supplies. But realistically, the independent contractors get to do whatever they need to do, and if they need color, they buy their own color. We do keep inventory of back bar, and we also keep an inventory of retail. And other than that, they're all on their own. The rest in our other shared space is a little bit differently because we also share color. So there we go through a little bit more color, but again, that's pretty simple. And actually, I personally, every Wednesday, I go in and I do inventory of product, and I go in and do inventory for color, and I kind of take care of it myself because it only takes, maybe an hour at max. And I kind of just make sure everything's all set up and whatever kind of supplies that we might need. And I just take care of it myself. And I work in that location 3 days a week, so I'm always there, so I always know, and so I just take care of it. And if somebody needs something, they just write it up on the board, hey, we need this, and they get it. The other thing we do is like with beverages and with some of the supplies, everybody just pitches in and just purchases it themselves. That way it's really simple. Everybody helps out and everybody works a team. I think team-based societies and team-based businesses work so much better than when it comes from a controlling situation. It really just needs to be, everybody needs to be involved, and when that happens and everybody's like helping each other and looking out for each other and everybody's like growing for each other, you end up with a much better result. Alright, so that's how I create balance. I create balance by working as a team, delegating out responsibilities, and trying to stay positive all the time. And it kind of, I feel like in the 19 years of owning my business, it is the one thing that has really made me be able to be at a place where I can be very happy and at the same time still heavily involved in my business. All right, thanks for listening to Driving Thoughts.